No, it's not going live. Good morning. Welcome to the Alexander Museum of Art and Rapides Regional Medical Center's generously granted, hosted morning Qi Gong class. This is Saturday, August the 15th. Sorry, I'm a little scattershot this morning. We are having an issue with the live feed option with Facebook. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. It was absent yesterday. Today it's telling me that I have to have an internet connection, which I do, but it's saying it won't do it anyway. So we're going to get to the bottom of the issues with the live feed as soon as we can. Until then, this is going to be a recording of this morning's class, a live recording of the class, and I will post this as soon as I'm close to a Wi-Fi hotspot, and we'll proceed from there. I was joking with Georgia this morning as we were setting up that I didn't know what to say this morning. I didn't know what little pearl of wisdom to give you or drop down and present. And I've realized that perhaps the one we keep coming back to is an appropriate one this morning, and that is change is inevitable. Change is the only constant in life. The trick is, and I have no easy answer to this, is simply learning to adapt when that happens. When it happens, you take it in stride. And I think that simply comes from a lot of practice and I think a fair bit of mindfulness, which is of course what we're doing here this morning. Every time you play your form, whether it's Tai Chi or Qi Gong, whether you sit and meditate, every time you practice that system and practice that mindfulness, whether it's focusing on your breathing, focusing on an external stimulus, a candle or a spot on the wall or a mandala or whatever, every time you practice that mindfulness, you make the pathways in your mind, in your head, deeper. And it becomes easier then to handle things like sudden stress from change, from unexpected change, when you think things are going to be like they always were, and you just punch live, and there you are, you're live going out on Facebook, and then suddenly you're not. Again, you know, it's inevitable. Change is going to happen. So with practice, and I'm sure with exposure as well, we get better at it. We get better at handling that unsureness, that why aren't things the way they used to be. And we practice some more. And that's why we come back morning after morning and do our Qigong practice. It's a simple thing, but it's a very powerful mindfulness effort. And you have good days and bad days. There's change there as well. You have some days when everything is just dead on the money and days when you can't focus to save your life. I dare say, because of this morning's little upset, I won't be quite as good as I usually am at focusing. And that's okay. I've already forgiven myself for not being completely on my own point today. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's okay. That's more important. It's really okay. Things are going to happen like that. And we adapt and we overcome and we keep going. And we practice. And we practice and practice some more. So, for those of you just catching up, this is a live recording of class this morning, since we had a failure to connect to the internet properly to be able to broadcast the live feed. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for joining us. That's always the important thing. Thanks, of course, to AMoA for having us here. Special thanks to Rapides Regional Medical Center, because their generous grant lets us be here. And I do want to mention again, especially with today's audience, if we're picking up some more museum people especially, keep in mind that there is the option. It's not a set in stone thing yet, but there is an option for an additional grant for us to expand the Healthy at AMoA programming. And that means if you want, if you have a voice, if you have an opinion, if you have a desire, we can, in my case, expand the Qigong offering into either a number of simpler Qigong forms in a separate class. This is an additional class beside this one here, the 8 Silken Changes. We could do either a class or a series of short classes doing easier forms, shorter forms, simpler forms, or we can do a standalone series of classes where we delve into some of the more complex forms. I was thinking specifically, if you want to look it up on YouTube, the Qi Gong of the 5 animal philosophers. It is much more complex, much more physical, very challenging, and I think might be a great addition to the system, the program. And that would probably run maybe 6 one-hour-long classes. We could really delve into it deeply. It wouldn't be something we could just gather up in one morning and take care of. We could also delve into a simple Tai Chi form if you're interested. If you've wanted to approach Tai Chi, have been doing Qi Gong especially, and think it's interesting and want to find something more complicated, more challenging for yourself, Tai Chi is a great option. The Sun 6 form is very, very simple. It is a approved and codified Tai Chi form accepted by the World Tai Chi Organization. It is a very, very simple form. Can be taught in a matter of, again, 6 to 8 classes, 1 hour each, and would give you a complete Tai Chi form to learn and practice. And if you decided that was interesting, then you could certainly delve into longer forms. But it would be a great way to get your feet wet, to see what it's like without having to tie up time and money in an investment ring into a year and a half or 2 years like the bigger forms would take. This would be a very simple, short class. They would all remain free, like the morning Qigong class, and would just be a additional offering that we could try out with you guys. So, if you're interested, if you have an opinion, if you have some input, please message us, message the museum. You can email me, you can text me, you can email the museum, you can leave a comment here on the video, you can leave direct messages for me at the Levy Tai Chi School. You could even message the Alexandria Museum of Art. You can go to themuseum.org and talk to them there. Of course, you can call anytime you want to. Let them know. Let us know. Let us know what you're interested in, what tweaks your fancy, what you don't want to see. That's all important. Okay, that's enough wool gathering and blethering. Let's go and begin the form. I'm going to double check my camera placement here before we start. I think I'll move the camera a little bit while I was playing with it. Let's make sure we're okay here. Oh yeah, we're good. All right. Thank you for your patience, Georgia. Let's begin with our first salve. First salve is always the nicest one, isn't it? That's just the one. Lifting the heavens. Breathe out. Owl gazes backwards. Breathe out. Draw bow, shoot tight. Stars fall to earth. Breathe in. Lion wags tail. marry heavens and earth. Breathe in. Quan sees its own throne. lastly, stamp the earth. One more. So I realize that there is not a massive dearth of clinical data around Qigong and Tai Chi. There is a tremendous amount of objective data, subjective data concerning Tai Chi and Qigong. But I can tell you this, having come in this morning expecting things to be as normal, status quo, and they weren't, and getting a little off the beaten path and having to endure some challenge, a little bit of change. There is, for me, I will qualify that, nothing like doing the form, Tai Chi or Qigong, to get my head back where it should be, to bring about a little calmness, a little rationality, a little focus that I lost when faced with unexpected things. And I can't put that in scientific data. I could probably measure my heart rate and things for you, and if we had an EEG machine and if Georgia was qualified to, read theta waves and such, she might be able to give you some hard data, but I can tell you there's nothing like a practice of breathing and movement to help restore calm, to help deepen calm when it's present. You are, of course, as always, cordially invited to be here in the museum with us every Saturday morning at 10:30. If you want to do it in person, which I do suggest if you can, and if you feel safe, do so. Doing this in a group, even a group as small as 2, is a very different, very special kind of energy, a very different kind of feeling. But even if you are at home watching on video, in this case pre-recorded, going through the form will help. It will make noticeable changes in your life, and the more you